Hey, you guys, let's talk about 5 signs of a toxic relationship. Okay. I like to keep things very simple. So, these 5 things, in no particular order, all right, are going to be things that you will clearly see written on the wall in front of your face, screaming at you with neon lights. Okay. This is what you're going to be seeing going on in a toxic relationship or with a narcissist. All right. 100% of the time, these things will be present. All right. So let's go ahead on down these 5 signs. Balance versus chaos. You're going to want balance, but what they're going to give you is chaos. And why? Because these are unstable people. Unstable. So how a stable person going to give you balance when they're imbalanced from within? People can't give what they don't have. So there's always going to be some balance issues where reciprocation, where they don't pull their weight, they're not giving what you're giving. And this goes beyond money because the narcissists, some of them have money, but maybe they're emotionally cold. So there's an imbalance there. But either way, there's always going to be some levels of imbalance. There's always going to be levels of chaos. And why we see in that also? Because they're cheaters, because they have all these supplies. All right, so the chaos is going to be drama from constant third party situations. And I made a video a couple of weeks ago about there always being a third party. Revisit that video or check that video out if you haven't. And I expand our mind on what third parties can mean, and they're not just cheating romantic relationships. It could be someone always putting their family first, a dog, a house, a car. Third parties can be addictions, okay? So there's always going to be some type of chaos because these are people who don't know how to respect boundaries or they don't know how to prioritize appropriately. They don't place proper values on things and they're not looking to be fair to begin with. So when you're always seeking balance, there's going to be chaos. Spiritually, this is going to be happening because these people are demonic filled. They have a dark cloud around them. So wherever they go, the stuff that they touch, it kind of reminds me of scorpionic energy but they're a phoenix Scorpio, it can be like when they are destroying things for transformation. But a narcissist, toxic people, they destroy things, but God always works things to its good. So it may be parts of you that need to be destroyed, that need to be highlighted so that you can have your transformation. But that's the work that you're doing. But what they're actually doing is destroying. Okay, so it's always going to be balance and chaos. Someone who's arguing, argumentative, um, not very agreeable. So all of these types of things are going to fit in with balance versus chaos all over the place. Just unstructured, unorganized, and undisciplined. And when we go to a higher level of narcissists, there's still going to be some imbalances there too. It just may not be to the eye, keen to the eye right at first sight. And maybe it's just the people that may be closest to them that may be able to see this because they wear their mask a little better. But yes, there's always going to be balance versus chaos here. The chaos that and the drama. This is what they come with. Point blank, period. Okay? Moving on. Empathy versus indifference. Do you find that you are the shoulder to lean on when they've had a rough day? You're there for them through their ups and downs in life. But then when it's your turn, chances are they're nowhere to be found. Or if they are there, they're adding to the problem. It's like, okay, you see, I'm going through this, and then you're going to be adding more shit at the same token. Okay? So these people, they're so self focused. And I've said this in other videos, narcissists, psychopaths, sociopaths. Scientists have looked at their brains. In the section of the brain that deals with empathy, they have less gray matter there. So they actually have a brain impairment at that point where their empathy is all out of whack. Okay? So them learning how to be there for someone, being a soft place to fall, returning the favor, No. So if you fall ill, you fall sick, you're going through a tough time, they're probably going to kick you when you already feel like you're, in a lower position or going through a tough time or season, okay? They're always indifferent. You go left, they go right. You go up, they go down. Just, they're all interconnected. This all goes with feeding into this chaos, and psychologically and subconsciously, it helps to break the intimacy that they're really not trying to build anyway. It helps them escape, pulling their fair share of weight and getting out of responsibilities as well. Okay. So yeah, this person is going to be indifferent. And the more that you make it clear to them, it's just giving them the blueprint to know exactly what to do to hurt you, exactly what to do the opposite. And, what they think, I'll just change that. What they think will hurt you. Because, sometimes they meet their match and it's like, look, you didn't hurt me. You just revealed yourself. And now I'm going to keep it moving forward. Okay. And that's what we're about to do right now by going to the next thing. Number 3, admiration versus criticism. Now, if you don't know, I'll let you know. Narcissism 101, they like admiration, don't they? They love people to build them up, to be positive, to uplift them, even unjustly so, unearned rewards and criticisms, not criticism, unearned compliments and admiration, basically. So you might do this for them, and you actually are doing it sincerely. But for them, it's always a criticism. You could be the best baker in your town, and everyone gave you so many compliments, and they'll try to find something wrong with it. I don't know. The muffin I had actually seemed a little dry. I need some water. Like, instead of congratulating, you just opened your business. Oh, when are they going to paint the trimming in here? Or who cleaned in here? Like, it's dusty. I've allergies. They're always going to find a criticism on something because they always want to, appear to be better than, and it's actually the opposite. You're better than that toxic person, honestly. But admiration versus criticism. They're always looking for faults, and it's a way of keeping people down and questioning themselves and striking people's self-esteem, which obviously when you're healthy, you're not going to allow people to affect it, but they will try to strike at it. Whether they're successful or not is a whole nother situation. All right, so that's the admiration versus criticism. You can be doing your best, and it's never going to be good enough for this person. Admiration versus criticism. All those types of things are going to be in a category like this. All right, so let's move to the next thing, you guys. Support versus discouragement. All right, and like I said, all of these things are interconnected. Support versus discouragement. You have a goal. You're trying to do this and that. Are they finding every reason why something can't work rather than uplifting you and speaking life and light into the possibilities of your life or into the goals and the things that you're manifesting? Okay, you could be manifesting like crazy in spite of their negative energy because you're just with the light, baby, and God has his hands on you, baby, even though you have these snakes around you. And then they're still trying to shoot it down. Well, you did that, but you ain't going to do this. Like you're doing the steps and they're trying to shoot down the next step, but you're rebuking it, Support versus discouragement. You got a promotion. Discouragement, shooting it down. Well, I still think they could have paid you more or this and that. You could be running circles around this person, and this is why they're discouraging you. They like to keep people down. They don't want to see anyone higher than them, crab in a barrel. Or if they are higher, they don't want to feel like you're catching up with them in a 3D. Support versus discouragement. Okay? They're always putting you down. They're always trying to find a reason why something can't be manifested, why something can't be blessed and work. Negative-minded people, pessimistic kind of people. Support versus discouragement. Meanwhile, you're helping them and chauffeuring them and uplifting them and putting your energy into helping them in life. Okay? Yeah. So, the next thing, you guys, is responsibility versus blame. Oh boy, the blame game. This is what they love to play. They don't like taking responsibility. or accountability, we can put that word over here. You're going to find this as being an issue. Run. Run from people who cannot take responsibility. These are people that will never change. You got to be able to acknowledge something to even take responsibility from it. So that lets you know right there, the person that will never change, they're not. And then they're probably reckless and irresponsible. All this energy is, interconnected here. It's always somebody else's fault. It's always, well, you did it too, or they're trying to find a way. Even if it ain't true, they're going to say it. The blame game. They inherently have so much shame and guilt with them because they know they ain't shit. They have to find a way to psych even themselves out. They're not just gaslighting other people, they're gaslighting themselves subconsciously with their own false mask that they want you to believe. They're trying to convince themselves as well. But yeah, responsibility versus blame. So this is a person that you can't grow with. You can't build with a person like this. You can build for them, and then they're going to run off with it because they're not responsible. Especially the lower vibrations, the lower level, lower range. Okay, so responsibility versus blame. Don't give them anything to be responsible for. They should not be parents. And I know to some of you it's like too late, and guess who's carrying the weight? And then they're bringing all these other toxic signs with you: criticism, discouragement, and chaos, right? Yeah, this is what they do, you guys. Now, I said 5, but I got a number 6 because I love it when people stick in here until the end. And down in the comments, let me know if you stick in until the end. I always used to say this in my videos. Always listen to my videos to the end, all right? Because there's always some sauce coming, some a little extra, chances are. But anyway, the 6th thing that you're going to see happening is acceptance versus humiliation, okay? And we can put belittling here as well. This person is never going to really accept you for who you are because they're really not trying to accept you anyway. So there's always going to be issues with you feeling like in your spirit and your soul and your being and your essence that this person is not accepting you. And they will constantly find or try to find ways to belittle you, to humiliate you, to try to project and invoke onto you the shame and guilt that they themselves feel because they're of their own inadequacy. This is what's going to happen, okay? So, yeah, there's always going to be issues with acceptance versus humiliating, okay? And then we have to understand this person doesn't operate out of the truth. They don't. So you can't really be in acceptance if you're in resistance to the truth to begin with, all right? So that's a bigger picture reason why there's going to be these acceptance versus humiliation. You got to be willing to get rid of those false masks. You got to be willing to be bare and vulnerable and stand in the mirror, at least with yourself and then with others. So there's always going to be issues with that. And yet again, they can't give what they don't have. So they're humiliating you to try to keep themselves from being humiliated. Okay? So discouragement, criticism, indifference, chaos, blame, and humiliation, you guys. These things are going to be present in those type of relationships. And that's why you need to be absent in these types of relationships. Make up your mind. Decide. Change your mind that you're not going to live another day like this. You're not going to accept nobody in your life treating you this way. Decide it. Decide it. And let them lose out. And then let you gain back your peace of mind and your positive energy and watch how your life takes off. Watch how your life takes off. Come on, you guys. You can do it. Make sure you hit that like button if you appreciated this video. Subscribe and hit the button so you know when I do these uploads. Lots of reinforcement to increase your emotional maturity, staying strong in your no contact, doing what you have to do, walking in self-preservation, self-love, self-respect, self-awareness, you guys. Learning more about psychology. All right, you don't have to learn everything the hard way. You don't have to hit a rock bottom. You can just learn these basic things and do well in life by utilizing the information. God didn't bring you to a channel like this for nothing. If he did, take it in. Over 800 videos here. All right, all my wisdom, all my pearls, I'm sharing it with you guys. Take it and let it help you on your journey. All right. With that being said, never give up on yourself. Continue to do the work. And until next time, please take care.